shuts us down for music too, right?
Yes, they did.
You want a cannon?
Damn it.
Lead slingers.
I actually had
You want a cannon?
what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Dropkick Murphys up one time, and
that's
it freaking booted
Oh,
in.
usually, but I don't really care. I'll drink out of anything.
You're under arrest for stealing
That's you.
shit.
I'll grab one out of the case over there.
We should be able to sing.
Yeah, no.
We're not live, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So you go do it. We're not.
Your ass was hanging out, Bumblebee Tuna.
Bumblebee Tuna.
What?
Your balls are showing. Bumblebee Tuna. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Nobody watched.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no. I missed that one.
Yours. There's one over there by the air freshener.
Dolkins cannon.
Rocco stole your cannon. Rocco did it. God damn it, Rocco.
What happened to his cannon?
It misfired.
Oh, Rocco stole it.
It's shooting blanks. His cannon's shooting blanks.
It was given for you. I didn't steal it.
No, it was given. It was a gift.
Freaking
It
thieves.
was a gift.
Thieves, come on now. It's Masonic Lodge. You can't have anything in a Masonic Lodge without getting stolen.
Like an air conditioner.
Like an air conditioner. I gotta shut this
I'm sending a bill.
Oh, I thought the blind was coming down on my head. That would have sucked. But funny.
Sometimes
It would have been
this is
I like the taxi driver look you got going on.
What's wrong with what?
De Niro, taxi driver.
What, my hair?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
I said I like it.
I'm just happy it's growing again. It's falling out of my friggin' head because I don't know. I was like,
That's all it's growing.
I don't know. And my hair started falling out. For those who didn't notice, I've been wearing a hat for a long time.
But no, you've got that De Niro taxi driver look.
Yeah, before I had a freaking spotted leopard look.
I'll pull up a picture for you because
Listen-
I'm sure you're
listen
too
to me.
young to have
Spotted
seen that
leopard.
movie.
I heard a story.
You
someone
talking to
lost-
me? You talking to me?
Okay, so you do know that movie.
Yeah, I know the fucking movie.
Well, that's who you look like right now.
Wonderful.
That's you.
I dig it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
could be your Halloween costume.
No.
Yeah, you could do that. You just have to, like,
I'm sure you got like an army
bring the
jacket or
mohawk a
something.
little bit tighter, and you got it.
Marines wear jackets, right?
Police EMAT. Hello, brothers. First time able to watch live. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking about this episode, 153. We're talking about, at least in the state of Connecticut or our grand jurisdiction, how to become a district deputy. With some other jurisdictions, it's district deputy is
Associate Grand
no,
Master.
it's district deputy grand master. There we
District
go.
Deputy Grandmaster.
There we
Yeah, I
go.
know that's what they are out
All
in Arizona.
So let's start recording. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast with your host, right, Worship Brother George Mudry.
Worshipful Brother Joe.
Worshipful Brother Ken.
Brother Rocco.
We found Rocco. He was on the side of the road collecting cans.
He was out there with my friend, waiting for the bus. So we're like, come on in. Good, where's Jean-Louis?
I thought it was Jean Pierre.
This episode, we're talking about
His real name's Jim, which was really disappointing.
Close enough.
That was really disappointing.
how to become a district deputy in the grand jurisdiction of Connecticut. I know it's varies from state to state, but we're going to be talking about it and how to advance through the line because I know for many people they become a past master and then that's it. You're done. You're
Well, we only,
spin.
in our defense, we only have one.
Lunatic. Greetings.
Lunatic friend.
We only have one past district deputy up here, so
George, remind us what year?
What do you mean?
Oh, you.
I mean, we might not know anything about it.
No, I said after you become a past. Oh, did I say past district deputy? I meant to say
No. You
Past
said
master.
past master.
Past
but what I
master.
meant is, there's only one of us who really knows the true procedure, I would imagine.
To speak from experience on how to
Yeah.
obtain such a,
Well, you guys pretty much know, no?
for the most part.
Not really.
George, what years? Remind us.
Where am
What
I?
year's
year?
what?
Were you district deputy?
15.
16. 16.
That was
3 Grand Masters, 2 years. So.
Hashtag not my district.
Yes, I
As a matter of fact, you were.
Usually
But
was.
we're going to go over that, and we're going to talk about just how to advance through the line. I guess we can start with.
Do you want to start with likes first? I got
think
new
we'll start
likes.
Yep. Fire away.
All right. let's-
You're in charge.
See if I could. Let's see how easily I can get through these.
I got the Facebook ones.
Rob Gregonis. Ryan Condon.
Oh,
Yes, that's Ryan. That's that Ryan Condon.
I thought Mr. Ryan's dad.
Mary Jane Smith O'Connor. Bayless Brown. CJ Bagocious. Yagnik Anna, Shannon Goodwin, and Chris Carter. Not the Hall of Fame Chris Carter from the Minnesota Vikings, just another Chris
An
Carter.
even better Chris Carter.
Even better because he likes us. The other Chris Carter probably has no idea who we are. But yeah, those are our likes. So I will go ahead and lead the toast, brothers. Right hand to arms.
To arms.
Ready?
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire good fire. Fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. Charge them up again.
Oh my God, it's so much better when we drink good whiskey.
Rocco, I appreciate you pouring me that glass, but it was like half full.
So I'm going to start from.
It was like 2
Half full is
swallows.
bad?
No.
We got some new subscribers on YouTube. We're going to start doing this, and this is
More than I expected.
We're going to start from a week ago. So we're going to charge them up, and we're going to toast our no YouTube subscribers. And we'll start with Sid Red. Then we'll go to Daniel Mattis.
Mad Dog.
Not Mad Dog, but I mean, Dongaluppy.
Joe's got to read this one.
Where are we looking?
Dongaluppy.
Where? I see Fox News.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think it went to a different notification.
Don Giuleppe.
Don Giuleppe. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I was close. Packet Pins 2. Brandon Christie. And I think that's all we have for right now. So thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube as well as liking what we do. Joseph Schultz, Worshipful of Joseph Schultz. Hello. Joe, tell them what to do if they want to get a shout out on YouTube.
You got to smash that like button. Smash that subscribe
Yeah,
button.
you do.
That's what you do.
That's right.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
Smack.
baby.
And then after you do that, if you want to get some access to exclusive content for as little as $3 a month, you join Patreon. You'll get exclusive access to Patreon content. We just recorded a little mini episode before this.
Is that what it was?
I don't know if I'd call that an episode.
It's all about marketing.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Mini episode. You'll also get access to our Discord server, which has up to 8 channels right now. We're expanding. It's like cable back in 1982.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stick a paper clip in the back of the box on this one to get the X-rated content.
Yeah, they're all unscrambled.
Yep, all access. And then you'll also get the limited edition gold tone Freemasons podcast lapel pin.
Perfect.
All for as little as $3 a month.
All right. I read them. You lead it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, you're looking at me, but then you were talking to Joe. All right, brethren, right hand to arms.
To arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire good fire. Fire all. Together, brethren.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. All right, before we get into this, to the topic, just for those who are watching us live on YouTube and for you guys, have you guys listened to any of the content of the Lost Book of Enki?
I have not.
Special
A little,
episode?
yeah.
What do you think?
I'm one book in, and I think it's good, but like, you know me, I'm not an esotericism guy. I like the fact that
Wait till you get to tablet 3.
what was it, like 5,000 years before Christ that we're talking here? And
So hold on. We would say that
Just don't give it all away. Just tease it.
good old JC was how many years away from us? Right now,
how many years away from us right now?
Yes.
Like 2000 or so, yeah.
2053 or so.
and prior to Jesus, there was Abraham. How many years was he prior to him?
Oh, now you're Rocco.
I don't know,
Is it
but
thousands?
Rocco's our
and
theologian.
Abraham
No, I
lived
believe
like
it was
crazy
thousands of
amount
years.
of
It
years.
was like thousands of years
Hundreds of
prior.
years.
Okay, so we're talking Old Testament is like
Old Testament. We're going back
Thousands.
500 at least.
5,000 years from
Fine.
them.
Okay, there you go.
okay.
So you're talking about tablets that were written on. They weren't written on papyrus because we know
Mhm.
papyrus paper breaks down.
Mhm.
Yep.
So these things predate the Bible roughly about 5,000 years.
Yep.
And the one thing that's cool about the Sumerians is they never accredited what they learned. That we knew this, we just knew it. They always accredit it to their gods, which were the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, which literally breaks down to those from heaven to earth came.
Okay.
And they're written on clay tablets. So what they would do is they had
original source material.
cuneiform tablets, original source material. There's no altering. There's no mankind change the stories. I mean, this is literally stories that came directly from them, and these are tablets that have still yet to be deciphered.
Yeah, and I think it was a really special kind of clay that they used that didn't
Yep.
break down. I think it was called cassius or something
Cassius,
like that.
mhm.
Nice. So that's what I liked about
I'm
it.
definitely waiting to listen for a road trip because it's a good road trip thing to do.
To where?
To go and visit.
No, to listen to
No,
the-
I'm waiting to
Oh,
listen.
He wants to go on a road trip so he
Oh.
can listen.
I got
When
you.
I go-
Yeah, good point.
for our next long trip. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going
I'm
to
not
sit
going-
down and listen.
I'm not going to Samaria.
It's like listening to an audio book.
That's
or something.
exactly
It's the
that's
same
that's
kind
the
of material.
plan. I was like, you know what? If I have to go drive somewhere, let me go
Yeah.
put this
Dave,
on. So I've been
Good
saving.
evening. But just to put it on the perspective that the book that I'm reading is The Lost Book of Enki. It's a podcast special episode. I'm on tablet 3 right now. And so just so you guys have an idea who Zechariah Sitchin was, he was one of 5 men in the entire world who can actually translate Sumerian cuneiform.
Mhm.
So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, we've always been told that there are like these repeating archetypes in the world, right? Like the wise old man archetype and like the young naive child archetype. But it's like it kind of makes sense that
Like me and you, the old man and the
yeah, exactly.
young child.
But it's nice to know that people were talking about that, like 7,000 years ago.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
still
Come on. I see you writing. What did I miss? What did I miss?
I said it was a special kind of clay. I think it was called cassius.
I did hear
Cassius
that.
Clay.
And you were like, oh yeah,
I was thinking you're spewing truth.
All right.
I have a knack for that. One time I convinced somebody, we were at the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery in this big mausoleum for Gurney. And I convinced the person that that's the guy that invented the hospital gurney.
Nice.
And they actually believed
Was it you?
Nicely done. Nicely done. I missed that one. I was deep in my esoteric brain. And Joe,
that's great.
he put one past me.
Yeah. I mean, he
Right in your
does spell
five
that.
hole. Right in your 5 hole. Woo.
Very nice. It's all right. But anyway, tablet 3 for those who are listening. That one grabs you right by the short and curlies, if you will, because it actually shows a more elaborate form of the 7 days of creation, 6 days of creation, whatever. But it explains it in way more detail, according to the Sumerian god Enki, and it's like, whoa, holy shit! And it came out of the cuneiform tablets. This isn't, and again, I've said it before that it's Zechariah Sitchin's best attempt to translate something from Sumerian to English. So some of the things just don't make sense, or what they are is they're capitalized in the book because there's no other way to explain it, what they're trying to say. Because it's, again, if you're interested in it,
there's a certain level of subjectivity that
Right.
comes in the translation because
Right.
language evolves over time and there may not have been words for certain things in that language. So
And
I get it.
metaphor and things like that never really come through in translation.
Policimet says, I know there's a few researchers on this. Is Sitchin the better one? I don't know if he's the better one.
Probably the most well known.
He's probably the most well known. He's the most
one
in
that
depth.
launched. He's the one that
Yeah.
launched this.
Yes, he's the one who was.
back in the 80s. It was in the 80s when he came out with his first book, Chariots of the Gods. I believe that was
No.
no.
That was Eric Von Daniken.
Van
The first one that he came out with was the 12th Planet.
You're right.
But
this is back in the 80s. So they had,
the table.
they had this going,
Thank you.
30 years now.
Thank you for your participation.
I have no idea.
No, but he, I'm breaking your balls, Rocco, for banging on the table. But no, you're right. Yes, that was his first book, and he's been very in depth into this for a very long time. There is actually a website called sitchiniswrong.com.
Okay.
So here's somebody else with a different point of view. But I mean, if you're going to go out of your way to actually make a website that says Sitchin is wrong, who are you trying to prove yourself? Who are you trying to prove it to?
Unless it's
God.
disinformation.
You know, I'm just saying, who are you trying to prove yourself to actually, first off, coin the guy's name and then tell him he's wrong?
You're validating him.
You know,
Those are usually like the clickbait websites that I try to avoid.
Yeah.
If I look up a question like how safe is it to
He
live
wasn't a
near
stupid
high
man.
tension wires? And like the first 5 results are like those clickbaity, like weird
No, the first
hippie
5 results are
websites.
sponsored
Yeah.
Amazon ads for Tesla.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Hey, on that Russian email server that you have, can we get like
Yes.
a domain like George Mudry Sucks or something?
Yes,
like that?
comrade, you
Okay.
can.
That would be.
You can get any domain you want, comrade.
Do you want a challenge?
It'll
Try to
just
get a
be.
Chinese
It'll just
domain.
be all memes.
Yeah, it'd be
of
George
George.
Mudry Sucks, but it would all be in Cyrillic characters, so you wouldn't really be able to read it. But that's okay. You
Would
would
it be George Mudry memes?
I see.
We could add-
Apparently, it's my night. Apparently,
We could add that to
All right.
Patreon.
You want a challenge? Try to get a
Awesome.
Chinese.
You get that with the
domain.
$10 a month level.
Oh, it's possible.
oh, it's my freaking night. Apparently.
So anyway, we'll move on from that.
Let's talk about. I think before we get into the whole how do you become a district deputy, I think it's important that we talk about how do you, and we'll talk about individual lodges. Rocco could talk about ours. Ken talk about his. Joe could talk about his mother lodge. How do you advance in your own lodge in order to move forward to become the master first? I think it's important to know that though you don't necessarily have to be a past master, it's usually a prerequisite, if you will,
For a district deputy.
to become a
Yeah.
district deputy. So let's go down that line first, and we'll talk about we'll start with Ken actually first, and then we'll move over to Rocco and then
Okay.
Joe last. In your lodge, we all know obviously the progression of rank, but is there anything in particular that your lodge does almost as a
traditionally or
proving
yeah.
ground traditionally?
Not really. I mean, I know that there are some lodges that do like these associate officers positions that are like kind of like understudies for the stewards, where most progressive lines start. We do have a progressive line in our lodge. We start at junior steward, right? I know some lodges do the master of ceremonies first and stuff like that, but we started junior steward, and usually it's a brother who has done a lot for the lodge already. Right. So we really tried hard not to take some recently raised brother and be like, hey, what are you doing for like the next 8 years? Because there's an
We got a
opening for
spot for you.
junior steward like there is every year. We try not to do that. It's usually a brother. I mean, and sometimes it's a newly minted brother who gets, super involved and wants to do everything and like shows up to work days and is like washing the windows on his own time when nobody asks him to do it, kind of stuff. But a lot of times it's brothers that, were raised a couple of years ago and just decided to, become very, very active in lodge. Their life is in a good place and they express interest in joining the line. We try not to, pressure anybody to start down that track, because you want somebody who's got the staying power and who's really interested in it. So usually all you do is you let the master know, like the current master, sometime around, October or something of that year, and say, hey, I'm interested in becoming the new junior steward next year if nobody else has expressed interest. And usually, a couple brothers will come forward, and then the next incoming master has to make the final call on which of those brothers is going to actually get the role, because they make the appointment at the end of the day. But yeah, usually we don't have enough brothers that are interested in it to like have some kind of like training track that we put them through or something like that, where they have to be an associate officer first. So that's how we do it. Pretty traditional, I think.
Cool. Rocco, how does our lodge do it?
I really like what Ken said, because that was my experience. I walked into lodge and became the junior steward immediately, almost. And I think I sat as junior steward, and maybe not in an official capacity, but I sat as junior steward probably for 3 years. And I took the role, and then it evolved into taking some of the junior warden's responsibility. And because life gets in the way sometimes, the junior warden sometimes would fall off. So for those 3 years, I found myself stepping up and being closer to a junior warden position as a steward than I would be normally. And then I found myself progressing. So everyone's path is different, obviously. And I made it to junior warden. I'm happy right there. I'm happy to step off. I'm happy to sit on the sidelines. I'm happy to step in and help in degrees. But I don't necessarily want to be master of the lodge today. And that's a personal choice. It's the same choice that I would expect someone to make if for the better of the lodge.
I also think if I can piggyback, because again,
Yeah.
we're part of the same lodge. Actually, all four of us are part of the same lodge. It's pretty crazy.
We are indeed. We're all dues paying members.
Morningstar, again, we've said it before, had a very rough patch too, where we were trying to just plug holes where we could. We had people drop off. We had people coming through. We had people. We're pretty much stabilized now.
Yeah.
But I think it's tougher for smaller lodges too, going through that whole ordeal of trying to figure out who goes where. But I would have to say we progress. I mean, granted, sometimes life gets in the way, true, but we also progress, I think, on merit alone, because if you can't pull your weight in your chair, you're gone.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
simple.
We do a progressive line in my home lodge or my mother lodge or whatever, but there is always the option that, especially when you get up to the warden's positions and the lodge at large is voting on you, like if you're not qualified, you're not moving up.
And it's not that
set in stone,
in
you know?
my case, it's not that I'm not qualified. I perfectly could go that line.
Oh yeah, and you could make
Just-
your own choice and be like, I'm not. I'm
didn't-
staying in the chair. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not the time in my life to do it.
Joe.
Yeah, so Ashler Aspetuck has, for the most part, a progressive line. But like my personal experience, I was raised in March, at the end of March. So even though I wasn't a steward that year, I was in essence newest master mason. I was the third steward. I jumped
Right.
in, worked for brother Mark Smith, who I know you know, was with me. He got raised with me. So we both jumped into that assistant steward role unofficially, but we started working and proving that year.
Can I interrupt you real
You
quick?
may.
I'm sorry. Senior deacon was we went in with you was Mark Adam. I'm sorry. What'd you
Mark
say?
Smith?
Mark Smith.
Yeah, Mark Smith and I
had
got
Mike
raised.
Adams on my brain.
Yeah, Mark Smith and I got raised at the same time.
Mark Smith, still the best today senior deacon I've ever seen perform the ritual. Period. Want to give him a shout out.
You never saw
Wow.
me do
Nice.
That is high praise.
it.
Tough position there.
Go ahead.
But you just like that he clicks his heels like a Marine.
That's
I know that guy. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can't lie. I can't lie. During a degree, clicking heels.
Yeah, it is pretty snazzy.
You want to see? You want to see who
look
does
sharp,
that? Have you guys
know,
ever seen Prince Hall?
patent leather?
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah. They, boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
They snap.
Yeah.
amazing.
I got to say that does add something to
It
a
does.
degree.
Anyway,
I'm not a fan.
continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to give a
No,
shout
yeah,
out.
no, actually, I saw him at the gym tonight before I came here. But no, we were raised together, and we both jumped into this assistant steward position,
Mhm.
and just started doing the work then. So then the following year, somebody had jumped out of line, so we both had the opportunity to become stewards the following year. So I went in as senior steward, and him as junior. But we had already had 9 months, or take out the 2 months that were not there. But we still did summer picnics and stuff. So we still had a body of work of 9 months showing, hey, we're going to show up, we're going to help out, we're going to do all these things. And the stewards were happy because they had somebody that they were now in charge of. They weren't the lowest man on the totem pole anymore. But you do it through hard work, and you advance that way. And as long as you do the work and you build up the trust and faith of your brothers, you'll continue to progress through that line.
Correct.
However, I can say, before you get to the junior warden's station, usually the past masters get together and kind of say, okay, is this guy ready to be a principal officer of the lodge?
Interesting.
Because it's a big jump. Because once you're a junior warden or above, it's presumed you're going to be master. You don't want to have that conversation in senior warden in October.
I am intrigued.
Do they do that overtly, like openly?
Everybody get
It's
out.
not done in lodge, but the
We must speak
past
now.
masters of the lodge regularly meet. Just to talk
Oh,
about what's going
Past
on in the
Masters
lodge.
Association
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
really-
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
a
think that
loosely-
surprises me at
It's a
all.
loosely based. It's
Yeah, we
not
do
like a
that too.
formal charter or anything, but you talk about, hey, the future of the lodge. Hey, do you think
Yeah.
so and so is ready? Now, if somebody says, and this has actually happened a couple times since I've been a past master,
I'm really intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
where we've had a discussion of, is this person ready to be junior warden?
Isn't this just like it's just a normal process?
It's almost like a
It's
social
just a normal
club.
process.
It is.
Right, like
Well,
the past masters have a little luncheon.
Yeah.
once a
yeah,
month
exactly.
kind of
It's for the
thing.
good of the
We used to do it for a breakfast, right?
For the
And
good
then
of the lodge.
but the discussion, here's the important part of the discussion. If if for some reason you're like, I don't know if he's ready to go on.
Mhm.
Okay. Has anybody spoken to him?
Mhm.
Has anybody tried to help him?
Mhm.
What have we as past masters done to prepare him for that position? If we can, in good conscience, say we've worked with him, we've met with him, we've tried to help him out, we've tried to do this, he's just not there yet.
I think you hit the nail on
Potentially,
the
we're
head.
not saying don't vote for the guy, but potentially, if we're all in agreement, there's enough votes
So
there.
how
to
does the
stop it.
past masters relay that to the lodge, though?
They
Because
don't.
again,
It's when they vote.
They don't have
It's
to.
their
Yeah, it's
vote.
basically majority
so
rules.
you
that
get a
they
whole
all show up to the
freaking
roll.
slew of the past masters. Just
You could. We
Well, you
never.
should
We
talk
never
to the
sit there
person,
and
too.
and that's the key. That's
Yeah.
what it always
You're
comes
like,
down
"Oh,
to is
decided, yeah.
because we've had some people where we've had concerns where we sat them down and say, "Are you sure you want this?"
Mhm.
And we'll say, "We're not really sure that you're ready for this.
Mhm.
If you want to take another year, you're welcome to. If you want to advance, you're going to have to." And this is usually done early on in the year.
Mhm.
It's not like, okay, it's October, you got to show us something by December.
right.
It's discussed earlier in the year. It's like, okay, well, there's some people that are on the fence about you. This is your time to show us. This is your time to exhibit some of those leadership skills. And if you don't have them, we're here to help you. So it's trying to proactively identify any leadership issues and upskill him before the time comes, rather trying to teach him when he's in the job.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, we've got a year to get you ready to become junior warden. We're taking it on ourselves as past masters to do everything we can to make sure that you're ready. If you're not, then that's as much on us as it is you.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
somebody let
That's your
you get
job.
to this point.
Right.
And the worst thing is when, I can remember discussions where we're talking about a senior warden advancing to master. Like, hey guys, we should have had this conversation years ago.
Mm.
We're not pulling the plug on this now. We own this. And if it's a
Yeah.
bad year, that's on us.
Right.
We didn't do anything about it.
Right.
So to me, and I would instill that to every lodge out there. It's before they get to the 3 principal officer spots, really don't delay that conversation. Have it then. It'll make those years go a lot better. Because then if the person's like, I want to do it, but I need help. Okay, we'll help you.
I
We'll get
really
you
think
whatever you
that's
need.
solid advice. It's
Yeah.
solid advice. No, absolutely.
So, question for you. So, for you guys, how many of you guys actually know how the process of picking a district deputy works? Raise your hand. Do you guys?
I know a little bit about it. I don't know the
All right.
total ins and outs, but I
So-
know it's done by the permanent voting members.
So I know you guys break my stones a little bit, but do you guys love me? Do you guys would protect me and
I mean,
brotherly
like as a
and all?
brother, yeah.
I'm just saying because if all the permanent
Define
members,
love.
if the permanent members come up
I
here
love
and
you. I'm
just
not
decide to
in
just
love with you.
Julius Caesar my ass,
I don't
No,
know.
just
You know,
kidding. Yeah, we got your
phone when I
back.
call you.
I know, after all the crap you've done to Rocco, he's Brutus.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
getting
Dude,
We're just going to be standing around. He's going to have a knife in his hand. And we're going to be like,
Are you gonna pick up the phone when I call?
at you, Rocco.
So, all right. So, believe it or not, I'm going to be honest. The process isn't much different than what you and your past masters do. And I'll tell you this. So, first off, we have a Blue Lodge. We have a council, Blue Lodge, for each district here in the state of Connecticut. I don't know what other jurisdictions. No, I'm only speaking for what we do here, at least in the 3rd district of the Grand Lodge of the state of Connecticut. So that's all I can really give insight for, but I'm assuming it's probably a similar process to this in other grand jurisdictions. But our district meets as a Blue Lodge at least once a month, I'd say, or once every 2 months or something like that.
They've been a little
Something like-
sparse this year.
They've been
but
sparse
it's
this year, but
usually-
rough.
it's usually once every couple months. Yeah.
So the very first thing so the permanent members are the ones who put the name forward for district deputy. Okay. So all of the past Grand Lodge officers, all past district deputies, they all kind of meet. And sometimes we meet at Maples or something, a restaurant. We all get, and we kind of just throw around the table. But so that's how we
Expected
meet.
something a little higher brow than Maples, but okay.
I'm just throwing an example.
I like me.
I expected
we've
like
actually-
smoke-filled
No.
rooms, menus,
we've actually met-
tuxedos,
No, I swear to God,
fancy
we've met
Italian
for
restaurant.
breakfast.
Like, no, okay.
We've met for breakfast,
That's
and
cool.
and one thing that's
Normal
very
guys.
important to know is that the permanent members are sworn to secrecy. Like, you are not to go to that person and be like, "Hey, guess what? You got it, man." because it'll be the last permanent members meeting you'll probably ever be invited to, and it's not a definitive thing. In other words, they kind of go around the table and they ask all the permanent members, like, who would you nominate? Who would you nominate? Who would you nominate? Now, some permanent members obviously are going to be, we got to keep it in the house. We got to keep it in our lodge, right? Because they're lodge first, craft later, right? So we may pick somebody who doesn't necessarily deserve it, which I don't particularly agree with, because I pick based off of merit. So me as
you got to do it for the good of the craft.
Right.
Like, what's going to benefit the craft and the Grand Lodge jurisdiction the most?
Right.
Yeah. It's not who's going to be a
Exactly.
future past master and like bring our lodge credit. It's who's going to do the best for
I
the
mean,
craft.
granted, would a district deputy love to keep that apron or that lanyard in house? Sure.
We all would.
But realistically, when you sit there and you look around your lodge and you're like, no. No fucking way.
Right.
No, but in all joking inside, though, the way I pick, and I'll tell everybody how I would pick who my nomination would be, and it goes by nominations, and whoever has the most, I guess you'd say, nominations, ends up getting it. And a perfect example is now again, we'll go off of this. So all these lodges have their own different nominations. Well, how do you decide? Let's say every lodge chooses their own. That generally doesn't happen, and I'll tell you why. Because Blue Lodge Council is extremely important. If you're out there going to Blue Lodge Council, and realistically, in our, it's not that you need to, but it's highly frowned upon if you are a junior warden, senior warden, or a worshipful master and don't go to your Blue Lodge Council meetings.
You need to show up.
You need to show up.
Maybe not every single one.
Not every single
you
one.
Got to get to at least
right now with the whole COVID thing.
Well,
going
yeah,
on,
that's a game changer.
Go at least once. Go at least once. Like,
But we had-
junior warden, go.
But I
Right.
can tell you,
But once
District
we
3
get
had virtual Blue Lodge Council meetings. We
There
were
you go.
doing them weekly
Yeah.
for a while, and it was myself, Worshipful Brother Ken, Brother Doug
Mhm.
Barry, and a few others on it.
Oh, but those are like social meetings.
Yeah,
those
right.
weren't like.
But they
regular
were official. They
business.
were
But
like,
yeah, it was
right.
You know what though?
There wasn't any business to do at that
We
time.
can include
Yeah,
that
that's
into
true
this.
too. Yeah.
But how many right worshipables were on there? Couple, right?
A few.
Yeah.
Mike Adams was on a few of them.
So if you are not a right worshipful, you are a worshipful brother who's seeking and want to advance in masonry. The right worshipful see this.
Oh yeah, they see who's on.
They
those.
see your
There's no-
face. So
Even the
every time
Grand
you go to-
Master was on a few of those.
every single time you go to a Blue Lodge Council meeting, every single time you just happen to pop into another lodge, hey, I'm just here on a friendly visit. Every single time that another lodge calls and says, shit, we're down a junior warden for the
Yeah,
MM
we
degree.
need a senior
We need
deacon.
a
We're
senior
totally
deacon.
screwed.
Yep.
Can you do this lecture?
you
or
show up,
something? Yeah.
They recognize that. So now that's where you get the cross pollination of lodges, of where you'll get a permanent member, a right worshipful, whatever you, his title is, most worshipful, right worshipful, whatever, will be like, yeah, well, I'm going to nominate Joe because, Joe showed up for that Master Mason degree, and I've seen him in every Blue Lodge, and he's a real likable guy, and he's getting to know everybody in the lodge. That's how you get a nomination, just like that. And then, obviously, if there's a right worshipful in Joe's lodge, besides that other right worshipful, says, yeah, I nominate Joe too. And that's how it works. And then what they do is they tally all this up. So let's say Joe has 4 likes. Let's say Ken has 3 likes. Let's say Rocco has 1 like. They're going to say, okay, well, first thing we're going to ask Joe. And
Congratulations to Rocco for getting one.
I appreciate that.
That's one more than I thought you'd
comment on
get.
the
It's one more I thought you'd get. So congrats.
I'm using it as an example. Like there are,
And you weren't there to vote for
But
yourself.
But I will say, if you go to a meeting, if you go to like Grand Lodge, sit down at a table with officers from other lodges. That's one of the
Oh,
biggest
you
things.
have to do that.
Absolutely.
Sit down at a table with officers from other lodges. I met people from Massachusetts. I met people from all over the country doing that.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
can trade
fantastic.
best practices too. I mean,
I-
what works for you
Just
guys
sitting
this
down
year?
and saying, hey,
Yeah.
I recognize you. And
So
sitting down at a table.
So I got some recommendations of this. So I just want to wrap this up with what I'm saying is, so Joe gets nominated. Okay, Joe's going to be our pick.
Can somebody veto me?
No.
Can somebody step in and
No.
say, "Oh no,
Nope.
I know him"?
After that,
Follow
I'm
him to the
definitely
end of
being-
the earth. I will.
If you have
I'm
four
first.
nominations, if you have four people, because what they'll do is they'll eventually start knocking people out. Rock only had one. We're going to get rid of him. So how do you want to revote? You want to say Jay? So now it's Joe or Ken, my pick. Over those two, who would you pick? I pick Joe. So now it's 5, but hear me out.
I
though.
get it. Yeah.
Hear me out now. So now Joe is our pick. So we'll make the phone call. They make the phone call to you and say, hey, would you like to be a district deputy for 3rd District?
And Joe's like, hell no.
Believe it or not, it has happened on more than one occasion.
That
Well,
sounds
yeah,
like
it's a
lot
big
of
job.
work.
And this is
Not
why it's so
everybody wants to do that.
important to keep it secret. Because if Joe says no, listen, man, I got too much shit going on in my life. There's no way I could do this right now. They're going to call you. And the reason why it's you don't run up like, hey, guess what? You got picked, or hey, Ken, you're in the running. Because, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. I don't want to tell you Joe got picked. And then Joe declines it. How would you feel about not being
Yeah.
second place?
Exactly. Well,
So
it's
you
like
generally-
it's like an interview, right?
Right.
So it's like candidates for a
Right.
job.
Oh, right. You talk to
Right.
the person, they accept it, because then you don't want to be. Oh, so I was your second choice. I wasn't good enough to be your first.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy didn't
Screw
show
you.
up for his
Go
first
after
day.
him. Go
It's
after the
just
guy that got
mutual
one vote.
acceptance. No, I'm
But now-
serious. It's just mutual acceptance.
But now,
I mean,
here's the kicker in the balls of the whole thing, though. Joe says no. Ken says yes. So Ken is our choice. We send that up to the Grandmaster. This is 3rd District's choice for our district deputy. The Grandmaster can go, no.
Be like, he's on that podcast.
I want.
I saw him on the YouTube
But
one
be
time.
wearing this.
Is that the guy that
woman.
makes the fart noises?
With the fart joke,
The
man?
Grandmaster can say, no, I don't want Ken. I want Rocco. So you can be nominated. It's no guarantee. But here's my point in all this, and this is why I'm kind of breaking this all down.
Does that happen frequently?
Yeah.
Okay.
It happened
Just
with
curious.
one particular
Okay.
Grandmaster that the one we do not speak of anymore.
Oh, that one. He who shall not be named.
You should not be named. No, all joking aside, but yeah, it's happened before on many, many occasions. There's also been times where district deputies like, yeah, I did the first year. I want to do a second year. I'm done. It
Yeah, I've
happens-
heard of that.
It happens infrequently, but it has happened before. So now there might be a scramble meeting. So
People's life situations change over a 2-year term.
Absolutely.
This stuff can happen.
not only that, some people just get burned out. Like, understand, district deputy is not an easy job. You're putting out fires on the phone. You're putting out fires in lodge. You're helping lodges when they need it. Like, I want to be clear about something about district deputy is you are a servant to your lodges. The lodges do not serve you. So
Right.
don't come into your lodges acting like an asshole, wearing the big hat and the pink feather and the $1 million cane, acting like a douchebag. I want to be clear about that. We are all brothers. You're all buried in the same white apron.
Wait, what?
I want to be clear about that.
District deputies are pimps.
Hold on. I can have a pink feather in my.
And if it
want,
can,
I mean,
There's
it's
a
your
lot
hat.
of words in that
Okay.
sentence there.
All right.
He's got to
My
repeat it.
point
Can I get the
is-
platform shoes with the goldfish?
I
on it?
accept.
I'm just making a point.
No,
though.
I know.
Don't come into a lodge acting like a douche.
No,
You
you're
were
coming
there
in-
to support the lodge and help the lodge, not to be condescending, not to be nasty, not to lay the law down. That's not what your job is. Your job is to assist.
I will
So-
say, as someone sitting on the sidelines, it's really uncomfortable when the district deputy comes in and slaps hands. There's someone sitting on the sidelines.
Slaps hands, like walks by and does like
You know what I- no, you
like
know
with
what
a
I mean?
ruler. Like
You got-
oh, like the you're naughty, like oh,
Like
yeah.
the- Yeah.
when is
So-
publicly reprimanding? Or like
Yeah, it could be a
in
little
I mean, I've
So
had both.
intimidating.
One thing I want, though, is everyone to know that after you're a worshipful brother and you're a past master, you are not a has-been. You are still in the running. That even goes for a past district deputy. You could still be called up at any point in time, and you should never give up. If you want to move up to that level, don't be like, oh, yeah, there's no way I'm going to make it. Because you could be called upon. And you should always strive to not to necessarily get to to be a district deputy. You should do it for the craft in general. But if you're really hard up, I want to be district deputy, and somebody else is picked over you, don't lose faith, because as long as you keep trucking along and you keep showing the permanent members and you keep showing those above you that you're into this, like you want to be an asset to the craft, if you will.
Well, it's like
there's a good probability you'll eventually get it.
Your behavior as a Mason got you into the conversation.
Right.
So continue your behavior as a Mason, and that'll keep you in the conversation because it got you there in the first place, and two, one day maybe it gets you there. But
honestly, we should be doing that anyway.
Exactly.
Right. We shouldn't be doing it for a reason.
I mean, how many
exactly? And then it's exactly what Worship Brother Ken just said.
Right.
And you and I have had this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
If one day it happens, great. I'd love to be able to serve my brothers in that capacity.
Hey, Rocco.
If it never happens, that doesn't change what I'm going to do and how I'm going to conduct myself as a Mason.
Two things I want to say to that is number one, if you are not chosen and somebody is chosen above you, don't be smug about it.
Support them.
The problem we have as Masons, and again, we're all men, we all have egos to some degree, is that we lose one of two things. A, we get very, well, that should have been my job. And we get pissy about it. And then it's, well, fuck it, I ain't going to do it no more. And then you storm off and you never come back. And that's how you lose faith. But you shouldn't do that. You should be supportive of your brothers. You should want your brothers to succeed. And here's the kicker of it all. And this, I know for a fact, has happened before, where a brother was picked to be district deputy. He said, oh, who had the next amount of votes in line? Oh, it was brother so-and-so. Oh, that's my AGM. Just like that. And if you...
Or I can't do it. You know what? You should really give it to him.
But I'm just saying, that happens.
And that's actually a good thing because...
Yeah. And an associate grand marshal is the district deputy.
Those are the two most trusted brethren for that job in the entire district. They should be the two.
It's not like you get a district deputy and you just pick some lackey that you know is going to agree with you. No, give me the next...
That's what I did.
I was going to say, I know some guys who may or may not have done that. But.
I'm just kidding. Worship on the time, bro.
My Secretary of Defense coming with me.
But the Associate Grand Marshal is, and if you kick ass as the Associate Grand Marshal, there is probably a 99.9% probability that you will move to that district deputy's position in 2 years.
Yeah, no, I've seen it go. I've seen it go the other way.
It has gone the other way.
It was
sure.
a shame. It was a true shame because the AGM really worked his butt off.
Yeah,
and then after 1 year, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna pick somebody else."
Yeah, that's shitty. That's normally it doesn't happen, but it can though. I mean, again,
I'll tell you who off air, and you'll be shocked.
Yeah,
you'll be shocked.
I'm sure I would be. And part of it is also you have to understand that even if you are picked to be district deputy, the Grand Master can go, yeah, no.
Right.
Nope. Yeah. I got my own guy I'm going to put in.
It's still the Grand Master. This is a process to whittle down the numbers because it's, by sheer magnitude, the Grand Master's got other things to do. But he can always override those decisions, just like the Master of the Lodge can override a...
Right. And I always feel like
for junior steward.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ken.
That was it. I'm done.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. You paused for a long time, so I apologize.
For like a millisecond.
I feel like I stepped on Ken a lot.
That was straight up 200 milliseconds. Better than 2 seconds. So it was like 0.2 of a second.
I apologize.
That's all right.
Good news is he won't feel it with those little feet. You're welcome, Ken.
Thank you.
All right.
My size 13s.
I got 11s. Bastard.
Really?
Yeah.
Like youth 11s?
Oh, stop. No, I believe it. I'm on 11.
I have 11s. I swear to God.
You're taller than him, though.
I'm not.
No,
Actually.
you're not.
Oh, really?
I'm about
no.
an inch shorter than him.
Yeah. It's just all.
I think me and Rocco need to stand up and stand in front of the camera just to prove that I'm not a freaking midget. That you guys have been constantly pushing this narrative for like.
That's why I stay real quiet when they start throwing out the short joke.
You guys go do that because I have to go grab a beer anyway.
So you were speaking of short though. Yeah. You'll actually appreciate this because this came out through an interaction I had with him last week. Those who are on Patreon know Clandy Andy. He's not a Clandy, but it just stuck.
Everybody's got nicknames. Which Jim D's?
Asshole.
Okay.
Clandy Andy's 5'2".
Wow.
Is he really?
Oh shit!
That's what he said.
All right.
Like he admitted to it. He opened, which means he's probably like 5'1". If
He
he's
needs
like,
some. He needs some
he's
cardboard.
like, yeah, I'm 5'2".
I would love to like
Cardboard.
claim the Andy to come to the podcast and find out. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, it was 6'2".
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, right back in my hole I go. Anyway, district deputy. Want to get back into this one last thing. Couple words of advice. When I was coming up, I always felt like district deputy or Grand Lodge officers were like something above. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll never get to that. Like, I'm only going to be. You kind of get what I'm saying. You always ever feel that at some point where it's like when you first came into the craft, you're like, there's no way I'm going to wear the purple apron or work
That
for the
is
state.
beyond you.
That it's beyond
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was never thinking about doing the job so much as these guys are wearing purple and like I have to be on my junk. You know,
Right.
I got to be on my game because they are. You know,
But
usually they show up when there's like an inspection or something.
Didn't
We're
it
getting
seem-
graded? And,
Didn't it seem unobtainable though for you?
I mean,
some-
I never really thought to aspire to that level. Like I was just trying to survive the year.
okay.
That's
I don't play the
That's
long
about
game,
right.
man. But yeah,
Yeah, but I know
saw
you
that.
say you put these guys on kind of a pedestal because hey, the district deputy's here, and they get introduced, and it's this
Mhm.
big grand thing, and then next thing you know, there's the gavel's passing. and you're
Yeah.
like, oh wow,
My
that's,
mistake.
that's a really cool thing.
I
You're
had
like,
that with George.
wow.
With what?
I looked up to George. He was my purple.
Oh well, that kind of happens
You
when
have to
you're-
look up to me anyway.
I finally got a tall joke in there. Yay!
That happens when you first become a Mason, though, too, because you look at the officers in your lodges that are like memorizing these like ridiculously long, intricate rituals, and you're like, "Holy crap! I could never do that." Like these guys put feeling into it and stuff, and then next thing you know, if you aspire to it,
doing
like you can do it.
Well, and next to the other interesting piece of this is you go through the line admiring certain people. You have certain mentors. And then next thing you know it, you're in the master's chair. And then next thing you know it, you're a past master. And even as master, you've got past masters coming to you kind of as a peer.
Mm.
You know, even though they're past masters in their mind, there might be a half step ahead.
They're still above you.
But even as a past master with other past masters who were my mentors and people that I looked up to through the line,
Must have been nice.
now you get like these. It's like, wow, we're treating each other as peers, and that kind of dawns on you at one point. And like, oh my god, like I think it's no secret. Worship Brother Bob first. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him,
absolutely.
and he's been my mentor throughout my career. Now we talk as peers.
Mm.
And it's just a weird thing because it's like, shit, I'm never going
Because
to be
you've
on that
always
level.
looked up to that guy. You always
Exactly.
thought he was a mentor. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's- Yeah.
And when we can, and then in some situations where I'm giving him advice, it's like, wow, this is really weird. Like, really weird. Uh-oh, who made a comment?
Danny Collins has
Oh,
arrived.
boy.
And we're talking about
Danny
such
Collins has
serious
arrived.
topics here.
Hello, brother Danny Collins.
I'm not seeing him on mine. It must be a delay.
Oh, he's there. Trust me. You'll see him in a moment.
Yeah, his posts keep getting deleted by like the YouTube AI bots.
Not me.
But yeah, I know
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
It's always seemed attainable. And even as a master, after you become a past master, it was like, well, how do I get to that? Like, how do I do that? I was always asking questions like, oh, how do I become a district deputy or an AGM? Like, I was always asking that. And you always get kind of the,
You don't ask those questions.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
It's not for you to know.
Right. I came to be a district deputy by a different means. The one we do not speak of. I actually met him at a. It was actually I guess it was the dinner, but it was more of a roast of most worshipful Gary Arsenault.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
happened
yeah.
to be at the same table. Me and
Who shall not be named?
the
Voldemort. Call him Voldemort.
and we actually got to talking, and we talked frequently. Even we traded numbers at this dinner, and that's kind of how it happened. Little did I know that down the road he'd call me up and be like, "Hey, I lost a DD. You on board?" Yeah, because it's a once in a lifetime thing that doesn't pass me by. So you bet your ass I'm going to take it. And I was, explained the situation, if you will. And I said, listen, I'm in this just to help my lodges. I'll be an asset to my lodges. I don't care about the bureaucracy. I don't care about the bullshit that goes on. I just want to help the lodges if I can.
So you came in as not being a political.
I was not chosen by this district.
Right.
And that was pointed out by other Right Worshipful brothers on a frequent basis.
So
this
you weren't a
district.
career politician. You were coming in as
I was a Trumper.
private citizen. That's not where I was going with it. I was just saying.
You left the door open.
But you weren't tainted by like the overall politics behind the process, and not Jesus Christ. I have to use better word choices here.
Definitely not Grundle though.
Yeah.
I came in when you were DD, basically.
No.
A little before.
Yes.
A little before, not much.
You came in when I was master. I did your EA degree. Come on now, Rocco. I remember
No.
this.
Tom,
Perhaps you're being a little short-sighted.
you were DD. You were DD.
Son of a bitch.
Just saying, I think
okay.
you were DD.
All
right.
And I will tell you that I went to lodges with you.
Danny
And
Collins.
I remember you wearing
Hold on.
purple and walking in lodges.
Hold on. Danny
I
Collins.
believe you.
George is a mini Malfoy.
Like Draco?
Oh, that's
Malfoy.
nice. I like it. Yeah. we're
Yeah.
digging the
So
Harry
anyway,
Potter one.
I was
Or
not.
Lucius?
I was picked directly by the Grandmaster.
I just wanted
Was-
to point out that you were a very good district deputy.
Aw,
That's what I
thank
was
you.
just trying to get at.
Thank
Even
you.
with all your shortcomings.
We're gonna keep this shit up all night, aren't we?
We could. Until I become short of breath.
I hope you feel better.
You want some dessert? I got some shortcake.
Just keep them coming.
Boy, you were on your shit tonight. I'm not gonna lie. You were definitely on it
There's
tonight.
no shortage of jokes here.
Oh wow! All right,
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Everybody has their time. Apparently today was mine. I didn't know it, but
I didn't either. That's the funny thing.
I know it just kind of happens like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Ken got his ass beat up a couple podcasts ago. So hey, Discord, Joe's due.
Yeah, I get it every freaking day. Are you kidding me?
It is
Really?
time.
I haven't been on Discord much frequently.
There's a lot of all the ginger stuff.
I
I get a lot
pay
of
more
ginger
attention.
stuff. But it's
There's a little anti Joe going on in there
Really?
sometimes.
I know they call you the
Sometimes.
judge, right?
But
Is
it's
it
like
the
all
judge?
in jest. It's
It
not
isn't.
like
yeah, no, it's
No,
not.
it's
It's
all
not
in
mean
jest.
spirited
No,
at all.
no,
I don't
no.
take it that way at all.
And I want to be clear on this. If you guys listen to this and you end up joining Discord, Patreon, whatever, take nothing serious.
Yeah, don't be
Everything is
short-tempered.
all-
Yeah.
Everything's
nice,
God
nicely done.
damn you!
Yes. Don't be short-tempered.
You know the funny thing is, I'm not even the shortest one in the friggin' room, and I'm taking offense to. No, I'm not taking offense to it, but you know what I mean.
Add it to the short list.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
Rocco, yeah.
See, this is just
Wow.
spread.
Sorry.
You got any good short person taunts? Just lay them
Spreading
out
like
there, YouTube.
gingivitis. No.
I get it. I'm
Wah,
not
wah.
laughing, but I
All
get
right.
it.
That fell a little short.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
oh my God! I am not reading that, Danny
What is that? I don't
Collins.
even know what that means.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think we got off the DD thing a little bit,
Oh yeah.
like way off.
Yeah, we that's
We're
all right,
like
it's
off
fine.
on a dirt road
It's
somewhere.
fine though. Listen,
Yeah,
I think we pretty much beat it to death.
Yeah, we're a little short on content.
Thank you.
What was I gonna say? In all seriousness, though, anybody who is interested in it is obtainable to become a district deputy or a grand line officer. It is obtainable. It's very possible.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
I'm out. That's like a mic drop.
I think I'm done. I think these are just popping in my head as we go.
Fine.
I didn't prepare anything.
I feel like I'm
Then
no
you
matter
just
what I
wait for the
say.
opportunity to drop it. I get it.
But
We all have our shortfalls.
this is clearly my night. This is a good one though. you're definitely on it.
You just lost the vote. I just lost the vote.
Oh, you lost.
Yeah. Lose our dues card next.
Yes, Danny Collins, George drew the short straw tonight, boys.
Oh, nicely done, brother Danny.
That's fine. Anyway, we'll close this up, and then you guys can continue with your bullshit short jokes. But
Are your secretary's notes done in shorthand?
short form, shorthand.
They don't even teach shorthand anymore.
What is
Remember when they
shorthand?
teach-
like
Like
symbols
that.
and-
Yeah, it's like that.
Is that like when I sign for
It's like
sign
that
for my
person-
card at like the bullshit gas station? when I'm buying
It's like if you're
cigarettes?
doing dictation or if you're doing like
Right, when you have to write things down fast. It's a
court-
fast way to take notes. And it's like universal.
proceedings.
Like one of the big ones, like, the little @ sign.
Yep.
That's like a shorthand
Oh.
kind of thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every
We
day.
need
Sounds like
to-
you got shorted with your
Yeah, they need
education
to
there a little
teach
bit.
cursive.
I went to
again. That's what they
Naugatuck.
need
Of course
to
I
do.
was.
Kids don't know how to.
Can't
sign.
debate, I can't debate that one. I mean, that's 100%. But anyway, don't sell yourself short.
Don't
I'm
short
trying to
yourself.
get,
Just walking
trying to
into
get
the
Joe to
door.
spit that beer across the room. No, but it can be obtained. You can be district deputy. The Grand Lodge and Grand Lodge officers, district deputies are not unobtainable. It's something you can do as long as you strive and try to do it. So even if you're not picked, just keep pushing. Just keep trying to do your best. And at some point, you will be recognized. I would encourage you to get out in your district. Granted, I think all jurisdictions are split up into districts, but get out into your district, run into, different lodges, go into, go help other lodges, even if it's on like their community service event and everything. And people notice your works.
Yeah. I don't think every jurisdiction has the concept of Blue Lodge councils, but there's definitely, you all have the ability to travel, right? We're all Masons. Traveling is one of the things that we enjoy doing. So go visit the lodges in your state or in your jurisdiction and see what they're doing.
Absolutely. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, we're running short on time.
Just keep on coming. Just keep on coming.
I have nothing else to offer.
I got nothing else. I think I'm done. If I have more, I'll be on.
What's your brother, Ken?
Yeah, Shorty. What's up?
Womp, womp, womp,
What? That's not good enough? Okay.
That fell short.
What would you like? Yes. What?
No, you have anything else you want to bring?
Oh, no. Nothing to bring before the lodge at this time, Worshipful Master.
Worshipful Master.
What?
No, that's what you say, right? You.
Master of the podcast.
I'm getting hungry. We should wrap this up.
Yes.
I was
Go
for some short ribs.
I was looking for some other content. I heard
Some
it,
other
but
content.
There was something else that somebody had written to me, but we'll talk about it next
gotcha.
podcast. So,
Yep.
But anyway, for the Freemason podcast, thank you, sons of bitches, brothers, for all the laughs tonight.
Indeed.
Love being the ass of the jokes, but you know what? That's fine. Anyway, for the Freemasons podcast, I am Right Worship Brother George Marjorie signing off.
Worship Brother Joe signing off.
Worshipful Brother Ken signing off.
And Brother Rocco signing off.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, I sure didn't.
Suck it up.
Good night, YouTube. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
That was fun. Oh. God damn, Joe, you're on fire.
It just